have full goosebumps. Like, I am shitting myself.
This is stupid. Let's go. I have never been so scared in a location in my life.
What the f was that then?
That is the most terrifying investigation we've ever done.
These aren't actors. These are experienced paranormal investigators with over a decade in abandoned locations, and something in this house pushed them to the edge of absolute terror. But was it paranormal? Or something far, far more dangerous? What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to deep dive into one of the most intense paranormal investigations I've ever watched. Ghost Theory's visit to what they're calling the Poltergeist Labyrinth. Now, I've analyzed hundreds of paranormal videos on this channel. Most of them have pretty obvious explanations, some are outright faked. But this one genuinely made me pause and think. Because whether what they experienced was paranormal or not, something very real happened in that building. I'm going to break down every major moment, give you both the skeptical and paranormal perspectives, and let you decide. But I'm warning you, some of these moments don't have an easy answer. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button because we're going deep on this one. And drop a comment with your theory as we go through this. Alright, let's get into it.
Some places we go to just feel different than other places. You can feel, and it sounds stupid, almost from a mile off, that there's something in the air that is going to make the night interesting.
Okay, so here's the situation. Over to the left, there's a red van parked in one of the entrances to this massive abandoned house in the middle of the woods. So, dog walkers, security, or what, just a broken down car? We don't know. Or a deterrent.
Thing is, it's unlikely to be an owner. This place is worth millions and that van's worth about £9. Or I think you're getting free in a Christmas cracker, potentially.
Yeah.
It wasn't really the greatest security van. To me, it looks like a deterrent.
Yeah.
They'd just go, look, there's someone here to stop people walking down the drive.
So it started off like quite nerve-wracking, really, because in the main entrance there was a car parked, and we thought, oh great, you know, security, or there's people there doing maintenance or something. So we decided to take it in slow, go in the dark, use a night vision camera and go through the forest.
So the investigation doesn't even start well. As Ghost Theory approaches this massive abandoned mansion in the middle of the woods, they immediately spot something unusual. Right off the bat, they're concerned. There's a suspicious van parked at the entrance, and they're trying to figure out if it's security, maintenance, or something else. And honestly, this is a good investigative practice. They're assessing potential dangers before entering. Now here's what's interesting. They note the contrast. This is a multi-million pound property, and the van is, in their words, worth about £9. Not exactly professional security. But here's the skeptical take. This van is our first piece of concrete evidence that other people were in the area. They could be property security doing rounds, other urban explorers, squatters, or local workers or hunters. Sometimes details like this are red herrings. Just because a van is there doesn't mean that the owner's inside the building. Could be unrelated to what happens next. Remember this van. When they leave at the end of the investigation, it's gone. But we'll come back to this. For now, they decide to proceed, using night vision and going through the forest to avoid whoever might be there. Already, the tension is building. As they enter the building, they're immediately struck by the layout. Let's watch their reaction.
Stepping inside this house it's like going back in time. It was just so horror looking.
The way the lights are, the way the hallways are, the way the corners of the rooms just seem so random, they're so human. I can't believe all the stuff is still here. Or like, just as much as there is.
Yeah.
creepy. Locked. It's not locked, but I can't get through it. Like it's not even shut properly. There's no thought really gone into the design. It's just put things where they should be to be able to get somewhere else. It almost doesn't make sense, but it makes it feel creepy because it makes you feel like you're in the design of a human mind, and that's always an uneasy place to be.
It's like being inside a human mind. That's a fascinating way to describe architecture. They're clearly unsettled by how this building is laid out. Corridors that don't make sense, rooms at odd angles, additions built on over centuries. Now here's where we need to talk about psychological priming. Here's a skeptical perspective. They're literally setting themselves up for fear. Before anything paranormal happens, they've already decided this place is creepy, unnatural, and designed to make you uncomfortable. When you go into a location with that mindset, your brain goes into hypervigilance mode. Every shadow becomes sinister, every sound becomes suspicious. This is a 16th century building that's been added onto for over 500 years. Of course, it doesn't have a logical layout. It wasn't designed by one person with one vision. It's architectural evolution. Medieval buildings, connected to Georgian additions, connected to Victorian extensions. That's just history, not horror. But here's the counter argument. Experienced investigators know about psychological priming. They've been in dozens of abandoned locations. If they're this uncomfortable, maybe they're picking up on something. Some people believe that locations can hold energy, and that sensitive individuals can feel that before anything visual or auditory happens. There's also the consideration of liminal spaces, areas that feel in between or not quite right. These can trigger genuine psychological unease, which some interpret as spiritual awareness. But here's my take. I think they're primed for fear, yes, but I also think genuinely disorienting architecture can create psychological effects. Whether that's paranormal or just our brains not liking spaces that violate our expectations of how buildings should work. That's up for debate. Okay, now things start happening. They're exploring upstairs in one of the add-on sections when they hear something that stops them cold.
Just huge bedrooms, aren't they? Each one has its own fireplace.
Don't you have that at home?
A fireplace in every single room? No. Wow.
You don't need 2 fireplaces. Just look at that.
That's the stairs that goes down to the kitchen.
Yeah, that's the stairs that goes downstairs.
Or does it go upstairs?
We do from down there. I just heard something behind me. Oh God.
Let's go further.
It's just creepy. Those are very creepy.
Dead insects. Are they dead insects? Bat crap.
What is the...
What the hell is it? That noise.
This is just bizarre.
Wait, what?
I know. And it goes further around here too.
Is that a horror story? That was a scream.
Like a little girl screaming.
I remember exploring upstairs and we were walking through kind of an add-on area. You could tell it was an add-on because the way the corridors are oddly shaped. And as we were going, I know that I heard some sort of scream. That was wrong.
I definitely heard that.
That was right behind me.
That scream really got them. You can hear it in their voices. That's genuine fear. They weren't expecting that, and it clearly shook them. So, what was it? Here's some of the rational explanations. Could be wildlife. Foxes are notorious for making sounds that are eerily similar to human screams. If you've never heard a fox scream, look it up. It's genuinely disturbing and sounds like a woman or child screaming. Given that they're in the woods and there are open windows throughout the building, this is highly plausible. Could just be outside noise. They mention windows are open for bats. Sound travels strangely in abandoned buildings. What sounds like it's inside might actually be outside, distorted by echoes through corridors. Or it could be auditory pareidolia. Our brains are pattern recognition machines. We're specially tuned to recognize human voices, especially distress calls. Ambiguous sounds, wind through a gap, wood settling, animal noises, can be interpreted as screams when we're already on edge. Or it could just be other people. Remember that van? If there were other people in the area, other explorers, squatters, that could have been a genuine human scream of surprise or fear. But we are talking about ghost theory, and this is the Horror Expo. So here's the paranormal perspective. Child ghosts are a common element in haunted location reports. If we're accepting the premise that locations can be haunted, a scream would be consistent with a residual haunting, meaning like a traumatic event replaying, or an intelligent haunting, meaning like an entity making its presence known, or poltergeist activity, which is basically like energy responding to the investigator's presence. The timing is interesting. It happens after they've been in the building for a while, after they've been calling out, asking for responses. Alright, this is where everything changes. Up until now, they've had some odd sounds, some uncomfortable feelings, but what happens next pushes them from investigating to terrified. And honestly, I don't blame them.
So we went to the end room, which was down the end of this add-on part of the house. Really, really creepy feeling there. And I said that I think we should try and do something different, is just call out and just listen to see if it takes time for a response. Okay, I'll do one call out and we're going to be silent. This is like a silent investigation. We've never done this before, so it's quite new.
We've done this. We do this every week.
No, but I mean like literally one call out and just be silent to see what happens. If there is anybody here who can still hear us...
Mitching, hang on.
If there's anyone here who can still hear us... We're going to be silent now to try and listen and give you time to respond. If you can do anything at all to let us know you're here, please do so.
What is out that direction?
Just.
Is that the where we came? Okay, no, what's that?
I have no idea. Did you?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So something.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is, I swear I've just seen. Oh, it's a car, isn't it? Is that where the road is? What I'm trying to get at?
Maybe, yeah. So much for being silent.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
That face, you turn pout face. There's been a lot of that though. That's a gun. That's a gun. We heard a gunshot outside just after Elliot had this weird sort of ticking sound, like wood being flicked or something. I'm not sure what that was. It's sort of become irrelevant very quickly.
Shit. Double shit. Yeah. Extra shit on toast. Like, that's really shit.
Yeah, that's like a warning.
Fuck.
So we don't decide to leave, we decide to hide, essentially. We wanted to get away from that window, to get away from anyone seeing us. So the first instinct really is to just go to a room where you know you can't be seen and turn off the lights.
We went into... we decided to go to the middle part of the corridor just so that we could get a better all-round feel of what's going on, maybe something in the house. We could hear both ends then. And that's when I think we picked up something absolutely spectacular.
So, even on night vision, no. Fuck me. That's not good. I'm going to put my light on red.
My fucking adrenaline.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that.
That's just been shot in this forest.
Yeah. That's alright light as well. Would they be lamping?
Could be.
They wouldn't shoot towards the bloody house anyway. I mean, well. Oh, something on my face. Where's my bag?
That's how you fuck the right off.
Is there someone in here with a fucking gun? Might sound dramatic, but that's how my brain just processed everything. I really don't want to be in here now.
That was a gun outside. That was...
Yeah. I saw a light, heard a gun.
This is not fucking fun.
No.
This is not funny.
That was a latch. My fucking heart. Fucking hell. How the fuck if... I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I can hear it. I don't know what the fuck's happening.
That's
I thought someone was about to walk in there. There was no light. There's no fucking light.
And somebody almost entered the house and then walked around the building, but we saw no lights, we had no breathing, we had no talking. Just walk around the house.
As if they can see in the dark and they're just having a look around. There was no creeping. It was just walking as fast as they could, just having a look in rooms, opening doors or whatever. I just can't figure out for the life of me how the hell that is possible to be a human. It sounds human, but I just cannot explain it.
So let's break down what just happened, because there are multiple elements here. They hear what sounds like a gunshot outside. They potentially see a light. They hear someone walking through the house. The walking is loud, confident, and deliberate. They hear no talking, no light visible, no warnings. They hear footsteps go downstairs, and they hear a latch, suggesting someone left through a door. The human intruder theory. This is the most logical explanation, and it's what they initially believe. Someone else is in or near the building. The evidence. The van at the entrance. We know others were in the area. Gunshots. They could be hunters, poachers, or even just someone shooting in the woods. And the footsteps. Another person walking through. The latch sound. Someone leaving through a door. This would explain everything, except for one massive problem. They emphasize repeatedly there was no light. They're in night vision. They would see a flashlight, a phone screen, anything. The building is pitch black. They can barely navigate with night vision and their own lights. So how is someone walking through confidently, quickly, opening doors, navigating stairs in complete darkness? I guess they could have night vision equipment, as if it's security they might be equipped with that. Maybe just someone with extreme familiarity with the building. Or maybe it wasn't inside at all. Maybe the sounds were carrying from outside in weird ways. But here's what bothers me, the confidence. When you listen to those footsteps, there's no hesitation, there's no stumbling, just walking like you can see perfectly. And then, of course, the paranormal theory. If we accept that paranormal activity can manifest as physical sounds, then it could be an intelligent haunting. It could be a residual haunting. It could be a poltergeist. The lack of light makes sense if it's not actually a physical person. The confidence also makes sense if it's a repeated pattern or an entity that doesn't need light. But my analysis, this is the hardest moment in the entire investigation to explain. I lean towards human intruder because of the van, the gunshot, and Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is usually correct. But the no light factor genuinely bothers me. If I had to guess, someone was there, possibly security or the property owner, checking the building because they saw the ghost theory's lights or heard them. They knew the layout well enough to navigate with minimal light, or they had a red light flashlight that wouldn't be as visible. But I can't explain it with 100% confidence, and that's rare for these videos.
Oh, for fuck's sake, we just need to do it, don't we? They went down these stairs.
Seem to move that if you look at the fact that we were stood sort of down the corridor where the top of the small set of stairs are, they had to have walked down those stairs, and you can hear the footsteps loud. You cannot say that's not footsteps. It is footsteps. There's no two ways about that. They go down those stairs. You then hear a latch. That latch could either be the window that we came in, or the door that's round to the left. When we were first exploring, I go to that door, and it was sort of almost slightly open, but you can't open it. It was sort of locked but unlocked, and I wish I had spent more time to figure out if that door was actually openable or not, if someone could have gone out there or not. Because if you can't go out that door, it's not a human.
Didn't they?
We had someone get thrown down.
Yeah. Well, sort of. I just heard. I heard this. Upstairs. This is fucking weird.
You can't walk around this place with no lights. It's impossible. It's pitch black. I didn't see any lights.
So what the fuck was that then?
Paranormal. That's how I left it.
You put it on the latch?
I left it like that, yeah.
Oh, it's just weird, man. This is so weird.
It's locked. What's that?
Yeah, we need to get the fuck out of there because I keep hearing like people.
Yeah.
Like there's just a weird squeaky ass noise then, like a high pitched gate noise. Like if we do get seen, I want to be out of the building. So we're going to go towards that car, the van.
We need to check that out. We do.
Yeah.
Our minds are on overdrive now because we've just done it. When you watch it back, you go, oh no.
Yeah.
But we haven't got any cinematics.
I don't know how we're supposed to get out. So we walk
Should we
down
do
that way.
cinematics before we go?
It's tempting, isn't it?
I didn't get any photos or anything.
No. We have a good excuse.
We have a good excuse.
We need to go that way, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep recording. Let's just walk.
Can we at least get the thumbnail?
Yeah. Holy shit, this place looks insane from out here.
This is just insane.
I'm really annoyed.
It's very annoying that it just ended like that, but I mean, like I almost feel like stupid now. Do you know what I mean? Like, why did we just run out?
Let's go back in. I think we should go. I don't think that's a
Yeah, it's just fucking stupid to go back in the house. Isn't it?
Yeah. But we are stupid.
Why?
We do things like that. Anything to complete a goddamn video.
So once... It's one chance, isn't it? We're here.
Carry on recording.
Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake, though. It's that fucking thing, and it's just your brain's telling you not to.
Yeah.
Your heart's telling you it makes a good video. Logic says to fuck off, you've recorded something good. But your heart's like, you can do better.
That is dangerous. It is dangerous because I don't feel like I'm safe.
Well, yeah, but is that just our minds being overdrive?
Oh, you're gonna kill us. We're gonna go back in the house.
We're good, aren't we? Let's just do it. Let's just fucking do it.
We're
For
going
God's
back
sake.
in.
So they flee the building. They're terrified. They think there's someone with a gun, and then they debate going back. This moment is fascinating from a psychological perspective. Let's talk about what's happening in their heads. They've just reframed everything. Initially, someone with a gun is in there, run. But then they start reasoning. If it was a human, why no light? How did they navigate so confidently? The footsteps didn't sound like someone being stealthy, and they reach a conclusion. If it wasn't human, if it was paranormal, then actually it's safer to go back in. But here's why this matters. This shows genuine fear, not performance. If they were faking for views, they'd either 1. Stay and capture more evidence, or 2. Leave and never come back. Instead, they flee in genuine panic. Then their investigative instincts override their fear. They have to know what it was. A human intruder is dangerous. A ghost can't hurt you in most belief systems. By deciding it was paranormal, they're actually making themselves feel safer about returning. This is either very brave or very foolish, depending on what was actually in there. So they go back in. They're trying to get some cinematic shots to piece together their video, and then...
Probably a good decision to go back in the building, because if we didn't, we wouldn't have captured what happened next.
For fuck's sake, here we go. Here we go. Take that and I'll get the fucking...
You're gonna get the torch attached. Get the torch attached.
That is actually fucking insane. Like, genuinely insane.
No, I know it is.
Like, actually insane. I literally just need to get out of it. I can't even explain it. I don't...
What's that, just footsteps upstairs again? And we went back in, and I remember Joe going in saying, I need to get some cinematics, otherwise I can't piece this thing together. So I went out into the corridor, and I was going to use one of my lights to shine through the corridor, and then he was going to use a red light, and that's how we get our cinematic effect. Right, let's calm down. Nothing's happening right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's a crit shot, isn't it?
Yeah.
We get, like, the white down there and the red up there.
Yeah? But I went towards Joe, and he was stood in the kitchen with his red light in his hand and the camera, and he's looking at me like that was not me.
Then I think maybe 15 seconds later, it's almost like a gunshot.
That was fucking upstairs, Joe. Where the fucking hell?
I'm going.
No.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, this needs careful analysis because there are two investigators in different locations when these sounds happen. What we do know, one investigator is downstairs. One is filming down a corridor. Loud bangs come from upstairs. Both hear them clearly. Neither of them caused the sounds. Some of the rational explanations could be structural settling. Old buildings do this, especially at night when temperatures drop. Wood contracts, beams shift, and it can sound like gunshots. I've heard this personally in old buildings. Animals. They've mentioned bats and rats. A bat colony taking flight or a rat knocking something over could create sudden, loud noises. Doors slamming. Air pressure changes in a building with wide open windows can cause doors to slam. They mention the windows are open throughout. Or other people still there. If our human intruder theory is correct, maybe that person was still in the building and slammed something to scare them away. If we're considering paranormal causes, direct responses to their return, which would be like an intelligent haunting, poltergeist activity at peak intensity, or energy manipulation creating physical sounds. But here's what's compelling, the timing. They return, they start setting up for shots, and immediately there are loud bangs from exactly where they're not. It's either remarkable coincidence or something responding to their presence. But the timing is interesting. Why didn't they hear these sounds during their first hour of investigation? Finally, they leave for good. They're done. They're shaken, and they notice something.
What the actual hell? I had everything in shot. That was just like, get out. We're going. Can you see anybody inside at all?
No, we just walked around it all.
No, I know, but that noise came from up there in that middle corridor.
Oh, Can we please get the hell out of here?
Yes, please.
Please.
Yeah. That is the most terrifying investigation we've ever done. And I'm walking away from it right now thinking, holy crap, we've done this. We've come across something. And in my opinion, a lot of that, all of that, fuck it, all of it, mostly is paranormal.
What the hell? This is just weird. They were doing something to do with this, surely. I don't know.
Just a cupboard.
Yeah. I don't know, but the van's not here anymore, so. But that is proper weird.
The van that was parked at the entrance when they arrived, it's gone. This is hard evidence that other people were in the area during their investigation. Not ghosts, not paranormal activity, real people who arrived before them and left before them. What this explains: the footsteps could have been a person. The gunshot could have been a car door. The person might have been checking the property. But what this doesn't explain: the complete absence of light during the footsteps, the scream earlier in the investigation, and the loud bangs when they returned, and the various knocks and sounds throughout. Here's what I think actually happened. Multiple things occurred simultaneously. There were definitely other people in the area. Those people may have entered or checked the building at some point, explaining some of the sounds. The psychological element. Two investigators primed for fear, in the dark, hyper alert, they're going to interpret ambiguous sounds as threatening. But the possible paranormal element. Some sounds remain unexplained, even with the above factors. So after analyzing every major moment, where do we land? Was this paranormal or not? They believe they experienced genuine paranormal activity. And you know what? I believe that they believe that. Their fear was real. Their experience was real. The question is, what caused the experience? So my personal conclusion, I think this investigation is a perfect storm of multiple factors. I'm about 60% convinced the major events, the footsteps, bangs, have rational explanations, but what do I know? But I think that's kind of the point here. The no light footsteps genuinely bother me. I can explain almost everything else, but that one detail doesn't sit right. So was Ghost Theory's investigation at the Poltergeist Labyrinth the most terrifying paranormal experience ever caught on camera? I'll say this, it's one of the most compelling cases I've analyzed where I can't give you a definitive answer. And that's actually what makes a good paranormal investigation: ambiguity. Here's what I'd like you to do. Watch the full Ghost Theory video, I'll link it below. Tell me in the comments, human intruder or paranormal activity? What's your explanation for the footsteps with no light? Have you ever experienced something similar? And here's my question for the Ghost Theory guys if you're watching. Did you ever find out who owned the van? Did you ever follow up with the property owner? Because that one detail might answer everything. Thank you for watching another episode of the Horror Expo, and I appreciate your time. If you enjoy videos like this, please give it a like and subscribe, as every little bit helps. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.
Absolutely fascinating place. In my opinion, the most haunted house we've ever investigated. I want to go back. I think we've captured real paranormal, in my opinion.
It's the typical thing with paranormal that you can never officially find an answer. This is one of the first times in my life I actually want to, in over a decade of investigating, this is the first time in my life I think I actually wanted to say that this is paranormal.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to be analyzing one of the most compelling paranormal investigations I've seen in a long time. Project Fear's return to Sweet Spring Sanatorium in West Virginia. Now before we dive in, I want to make something clear. I'm going to approach this with both skepticism and an open mind. We're going to look at the evidence they captured, discuss what it could mean from a paranormal perspective, but we're also going to stay grounded and logical about what we're seeing. This isn't about me telling you what to believe. It's about examining the evidence and letting you decide. Sweet Spring Sanatorium has a brutal history. Built in the 1830s by enslaved people, it later became a tuberculosis sanitarium where hundreds died, and eventually a nursing home where patients allegedly died from neglect and abuse. We're talking about over 200 years of suffering compressed into one location. 4 years ago, Project Fear investigated this place and something happened that they claim fundamentally changed them. They were so terrified that they vowed never to return. Well, they went back, and what they captured is genuinely unsettling. Let's break it down. Our first piece of evidence happens almost immediately, and here's what makes it interesting. It occurs in broad daylight. The team is sitting down, reading through the history of the building, when something catches their attention. Let's watch what happens.
Okay. By 1942, the once illustrious resort had turned into a sanitarium for tuberculosis patients. It wasn't long before hundreds of patients filled the beds. Those that did not survive were buried anonymously in the public cemetery on the premises.
Just another layer, another reason why this place is so haunted.
When the tuberculosis outbreak ended in 1944, the sanitarium changed its operation into a nursing home for the poor and elderly. In addition to the many deaths that occurred because of old age, the facility experienced numerous untimely deaths, some of which were caused by patients being scalded to death in the hydrotherapy tubs.
You can only imagine how many patients would die.
Although there's no official record, it is estimated that over...
I just saw a flashlight.
What?
Straight up flashlight down the hall.
What?
So, like straight up flashlight.
Behind the camera?
Like all the way into this next room?
All the way down the hall.
Dude, what?
This is the same room where Alex the thud happened on the door. It was right in this room?
Right there.
Yeah, well there's literally nothing.
It looked like that, but it was pointed like towards...
Like this?
Yes. Yes, yeah. Just like that. But it was a lot like oranger. It was like an oranger tungsten.
Hello?
Okay, so let's talk about what we just saw. The entire team reacts to seeing what they describe as an orange or tungsten colored light moving down the hallway. Now what's important here is the timing and the context. They're alone in the building. The owner, Cindy, has confirmed they're the only ones there. So what could this be from a paranormal perspective? There's a theory in paranormal research called residual energy, or stone tape theory. The idea is that minerals, especially stone, brick, and quartz, can record traumatic or even emotionally charged events and play them back under certain conditions, kind of like a DVD on repeat. Sweet Springs was built by enslaved people. Brick by brick, these walls were constructed by people in unimaginable suffering. If locations can record energy, this building would be saturated with it. What they might have seen in a residual imprint, someone who walked those halls 100, 150, maybe even 190 years ago with a lantern or torch. But here's where it gets more interesting. And this is where we move from residual to intelligent haunting. This light appears right as they're reading about the deaths in the building. That's not random, that's contextual. That suggests awareness. In paranormal theory, an intelligent haunting means an entity that can interact with the present moment that has consciousness and intention. If this was intelligent, it was essentially saying, I'm here, and I'm listening to you. Now could it be something else? Sure, light refraction, car headlights reflecting off of something, but they're in rural West Virginia. The building is set back from the road. The question you have to ask yourself is, what's more likely? Alright, this next piece of evidence is where things start to get genuinely unsettling. The team splits up. 3 members go to the 3rd floor, and Tanner goes to the basement alone. While on the 3rd floor, they conduct a digital recording session in room 3007, where a woman in white is frequently seen. They ask if anyone remembers them from their previous visit 4 years ago. Let's hear what they captured.
We're getting closer.
Pretty sure this is right where me and Tanner were sitting when we got the EVP. That sounded like this whole place was still functioning like hospital.
Which means 3007.
It's gotta be right there.
There it is.
3007. This is the lady in white. People see her peering out that window. Is there a woman in here? Are you somewhere on this floor? Can you knock twice if you hear our voice?
If you can hear our voices, can you let us know that you can hear us and understand us?
I think it's about that time to go to the slave quarters. Oh, we heard everything. The scream, the chanting, the taunting. I really don't want to go down there, let's be honest. I'm not afraid to admit it. Why do you have to be so scary? Huge shift. The energy of the room once you get on this side. What the hell, actually? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the enhanced audio recorder. I'm going to the Ovilus, because that's what I used the first time. This is by far the strangest thing I've ever done. 4 years ago, I was in this same spot, hearing the scariest things I've ever heard in my entire life. I was right here.
So we're gonna ask some questions here in room 3007 and try to get some responses on the digital recorder.
Your hood looks really nice on you too.
Is this the Rockstar hood?
Yeah.
Does it look cool?
It looks really cool actually.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
I am rolling on the digital recorder. If anyone in here can hear my voice right now, I have something that will be able to hear your voice. Can you tell us something? Can you give us a message? A lot of people have seen a woman in here wearing a white dress, but nobody knows who you are. Can you tell us your name or what year you were born? Why do people see you so often in this room looking out this window?
Dude, I feel like I'm really faint footsteps.
Yeah, coming towards us. Who's up here on this third floor right now? We're hearing something in the hallway. We were here several years ago exploring this building. Do you remember us? My sister is sitting right here in this chair. Do you know what her name is? All right, I'm gonna cut and play this back and see if we got any sort of a response.
I don't even want to know what we're gonna find.
Turning on the Ovilus, start asking some questions. Is anybody down here with me? What? It just said run. Oh, the first thing. That's what happened. We all ran. And it's telling me to run right. Dude, what? I just turned this on. Why do you want me to run? Do you remember me? I was here 4 years ago. This is the creepiest thing of all time, man. I remember every tiny bit of this place. Did I just see something move? I could have sworn something ran right past that. Just went paranormal. My anxiety level is at an all-time high right now. This is just the creepiest feeling I've had ever.
I am rolling on the digital recorder. If anyone in here can hear my voice right now, I have something that will be able to hear your voice. Can you tell us something? Can you give us a message? A lot of people have seen a woman in here wearing a white dress, but nobody knows who you are. Can you tell us your name and what year you were born? people see you so often in this room, looking out this window. What happened to you in this room? We were here several years ago exploring this building. Do you remember us?
Dude, it said, I remember Tanner.
Oh, I hear that.
It said, I remember Tanner.
I heard yes, and then there's a pause.
Yep,
I remember something.
It's Tanner.
It says Tanner, dude.
Let me play it again just to verify.
We were here several years ago exploring this building. Do you remember us?
I remember Tanner, dude.
I have the goosebumps, dude. It says yes. There's like a 1 second pause, and then it's a whispering, I remember Tanner.
Okay, well, whatever that is, Tanner's downstairs by himself, so feel free to go talk to him, because why are you up here?
Now, before we jump to conclusions, let's talk about what electronic voice phenomenon, or EVP, actually is, at least according to paranormal theory. The idea is that spirits or entities can manipulate electromagnetic frequencies, or also known as white noise, or the electronic components in recording devices to form words. They're not speaking in the way we speak. They're manipulating energy to create sounds that form recognizable patterns. The skeptical explanation? Pareidolia, our brain's tendency to find patterns in random noise, radio interference, environmental sounds we misinterpret. But here's what makes this particular EVP compelling: context and clarity. First, it directly answers their question. They asked, "Do you remember us from several years ago?" And got, "Yes, I remember Tanner." That's not random. That's a coherent, relevant response. Second, it specifically names Tanner, who is currently alone in the basement. The entity, if it is an entity, knows there are multiple people in the building and differentiates between them. Now here's where paranormal theory gets really interesting. There's a concept called entity attachment, or targeted haunting. The theory suggests that entities don't just haunt locations, they can form connections with specific individuals, especially people who have strong emotional reactions. Fear, in particular, is believed to be a powerful energy source for certain entities. Tanner's first experience at Sweetwater 4 years ago was traumatic. By his own admission, it broke him. He heard disembodied voices that sounded like Chelsea, experienced extreme fear, and ultimately fled the building. If we're opening under the assumption that entities can feed on or be attracted to fear, and this is a common theory in paranormal research, then Tanner essentially left a psychic imprint on this location. He became memorable. Think about it from an entity's perspective, if entities exist. Most people who visit might feel uneasy, might get a little scared, but someone who has a complete breakdown, someone who runs from the building in terror, that's a significant energy event. The EVP saying, "I remember Tanner," could mean one of two things. Either there's an entity that formed an attachment to him specifically, or, and this is the more unsettling theory, the building itself has developed a kind of consciousness from 200 years of trauma and death, and it remembers people who react strongly. Is this proof of the paranormal? No. But it's damn compelling evidence that something unusual is happening in that building. Now we're going to talk about what happened to Tanner in the basement, because this is where the investigation starts to feel targeted. Tanner is alone in the basement, the same location where he had the breakdown 4 years ago. He's using an Ovilus device. For those who don't know, an Ovilus supposedly converts environmental energy into words from a built-in database. Skeptics argue it's just random word generation. Believers say entities manipulate the environment to select specific words. Tanner turns it on and, well, let's watch.
Turning on the Ovilus, start asking some questions. Is anybody down here with me? What?
It just said run. Oh, the first thing. That's what happened.
We all ran. It's telling me to run right. Dude, what? I just turned this on. Why do you want me to run? Do you remember me? I was here 4 years ago. This is the creepiest thing of all time, man. I remember every tiny bit of this place. Did I just see something move? I could have sworn something ran right past that. Just went paranormal. My anxiety level is at an all-time high right now. This is just the creepiest feeling I've had ever.
The very first word that comes through is run. And here's the kicker. 4 years ago, when they all fled Sweet Springs in terror, they said it felt like something was telling them to run. They all had the same impulse at the same time. So either this is an incredible coincidence or something in that basement remembers what happened and is repeating the same message. Let's explore the paranormal theories here. Theory 1. Precognitive warning. Some paranormal researchers believe certain entities can perceive near-future events or sense danger. The run command might not be a threat, it could be a warning. Maybe there's something else in that basement. Something more dangerous, and an entity is trying to protect them. This would actually align with reports from other locations where investigators describe feeling like they were being warned away rather than threatened. Theory 2. Residual loop. We talked about residual energy earlier, events replaying like a recording. The team's terrified flight from the building 4 years ago was an intense emotional event. Could that event somehow be imprinted on the location? Could the building be replaying the energy, essentially showing them an echo of their own past? Theory 3, and this is the most unsettling, psychological warfare. If there is an intelligent entity in that basement, and if it specifically remembers Tanner, then immediately telling him to run is a power move. It's saying, I know what happened last time, I know what scares you, and I can make it happen again. What makes this particularly compelling is Tanner's reaction. This is an experienced investigator. He's been to dozens of locations, but you can see in the footage he's genuinely shaken. That's not someone playing up fear for the camera. That's real psychological distress. From a logical standpoint, could the Ovilus have randomly generated the word run? Absolutely. These devices have databases of hundreds or thousands of words, but the odds of that specific word at that specific moment in that specific location where the exact scenario played out 4 years ago? You can decide what to think is more probable. Alright, this next piece of evidence is, in my opinion, the most disturbing thing they captured. And I want you to pay close attention to not just what happens, but the team's reaction to it. They're in the basement using a spirit box for the first time. The spirit box rapidly scans radio frequencies, and the theory is that entities can manipulate these frequencies to form words and sentences. Unlike the robotic voice of the Ovilus, if something comes through on a spirit box, it's supposedly the actual voice of the entity. They're asking questions, getting some responses, and then this happens.
He's got a cross. My cross? I've worn this since season 1.
Tanner, you were the one that wears a cross, and I'm the one that was praying.
And that's why it remembers us.
Is that why you don't like Tanner? He's got a cross on? Are you not a holy person? Are you against God, against Christianity? Can you confirm why you don't like Tanner? Tell us why you don't like him?
It's like Christian.
It did sound like Christian.
Oh, that was laughing, dude.
That is so
That was
weird.
laughing, dude.
Pure, like a female, like, yeah, like almost like a witch laugh.
It was like mocking laugh, like snickering.
Yeah.
What the? What the? Are you laughing at us?
Are you mocking us?
Who are you?
What era of this location do you come from? Were you a patient at the sanatorium? Were you here when this was a retreat?
Do you want to hurt us?
you're intelligent and you can hear us, can you say the word Tanner or Chelsea? We're gonna move on to a different part of the building unless you say something intelligent, not just laugh.
What is it?
Something.
Yeah.
I don't give a f.
Alright, we're gonna go silent for a minute. We're gonna give you the floor to talk. Whatever you wanna say.
Oh, dude! What the fuck? What is happening? What the hell is that?
Sounded like you.
It died! It died!
What the hell, bro?
No way, dude. It's not on anymore.
That sounded like us, bro!
Like you screaming and then me screaming.
I wanna like replay that.
Can we replay this? Guys, I need to hear this.
We're cutting Tanner's camera so we can watch this back, but we are almost certain that we got what sounded like Tanner screaming and Chelsea screaming on the freaking spirit box, and then it died.
That couldn't get any creepier.
We were about to give up though. Like I literally said, the floor is yours, you have 1 minute. And then that happened. So we got the actual speaker from the spirit box hooked up to the camera, and we're gonna replay this so we can hear what we just heard.
Oh, dude! What the fuck? What is happening? That was your scream! That's your scream!
I know.
Oh, dude, that's me. What the fuck? What is happening? That's your scream and me talking.
The first voice is definitely Tanner's, then there's like a glitch, and then your scream almost comes through. Well, I don't know if it's the same scream, but it's your scream and your voice. And what did Cindy tell us when we showed up today? That it said Chelsea and Tanner knew you were coming.
Us.
It remembered you. I think something is trying to screw with us again, freak us out like last time, because I am so freaking scared now.
Only location that's ever scared us out of here, and it's this close to doing it again.
Did you catch that? They heard what sounded like their own voices screaming through the spirit box, and then the device immediately died. Let me play that audio analysis part again because this is important. Okay, let's talk about what we just witnessed, because this is where we need to really think critically about what's happening here. From a technical standpoint, a spirit box scans AM/FM radio frequencies. Could it have picked up a stray radio signal? Possibly. But these investigators are in rural West Virginia at 2 a.m. There aren't a lot of radio stations broadcasting, and the odds of picking up someone who sounds exactly like Chelsea screaming, followed immediately by a sound resembling Tanner's voice? That's not probable. From a paranormal perspective, what they might have encountered is called a mimic entity, or vocal manifestation phenomenon. There are numerous documented cases, and I'm talking about cases from experienced paranormal investigators, demonologists, and researchers of entities that can replicate human voices. This ability is often associated with more powerful or malevolent entities. The theory behind why they do this is psychological warfare. Think about it. Hearing your own voice, or the voice of someone you know, coming from an unknown source? That's deeply unsettling on a primal level. It violates our sense of reality and safety. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Remember what the building owner, Cindy, told them when they arrived. She said she asked the spirits, "Do you know who's coming?" And the ghost box said Chelsea. Then she asked who else, and it said Tanner's name. So we have a pattern. The entities know their names. The entities remember them from 4 years ago, and now, potentially, the entities can mimic their voices. If we're exploring this from a paranormal framework, this suggests a level of intelligence and power that goes beyond a simple residual haunting. This is something that observes, remembers, and can manipulate its environment in sophisticated ways. Now, there's another theory we need to discuss: temporal echo, or temporal manipulation. Some advanced paranormal theories suggest that powerful entities can pull sounds from different points in time, past, present, or even potential futures. Were they hearing their own screams from 4 years ago, from later that night, or was this a manifestation of potential fear? What could happen? There's also the psychological element we can't ignore. The team is already on edge. They're in a location that traumatized them. They're expecting something to happen. Could their heightened state of fear and anticipation be causing them to interpret random static as voices? Maybe. But then why did the device die immediately after? Equipment malfunctions can happen, sure. Batteries drain, electronics fail, but the timing, right after this disturbing occurrence, adds another layer of strangeness. In paranormal research, there's a well-documented phenomenon on entities draining batteries and interfering with electronic equipment. The theory is that they need energy to manifest, and they pull it from all available sources, including electronic devices. The team's reaction is also important here. Watch their body language, their tone. These aren't people hamming it up, they're genuinely disturbed, and immediately after this, they actually debate leaving the building entirely. That speaks volumes. What makes this case compelling isn't just one piece of evidence, it's the totality. It's the patterns. It's the intelligence. It's the consistency over years. It's multiple witnesses having similar experiences independently. You could choose to believe it's paranormal, or you could choose to believe that there's a rational explanation that we haven't found yet. But you can't deny that something is happening. So what do you think? Are Tanner and Chelsea dealing with genuine paranormal activity? Is there a demonic presence in Sweet Springs? Or is there a rational explanation for everything they experienced? Drop your theories in the comments, and if you're familiar with paranormal research, or have expertise in psychology, skepticism, or investigation, I'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the evidence, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. I'll be doing more paranormal analysis videos, and I want to hear what cases you'd like me to cover next. And hey, if you're feeling brave, go check out Project Fear's channel and watch the full investigation. Link is in the description. Watch their follow-up video where they sleep alone in different parts of the building, because apparently they're either incredibly brave or incredibly foolish. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay safe out there.
But the first one, when we weren't, and I felt like
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little different. We're gonna break down one of the most intense paranormal investigations I've seen in a long time. Twin Paranormal's investigation of the White Face House in Yates Center, Kansas. Now, if you haven't seen their video yet, I'll have it linked down below. But fair warning, this one is legitimately unsettling. We're talking about a house built in 1910 where multiple people have reported seeing entities with stark white, completely featureless faces. No eyes, no mouth, just blank. During their investigation, Ryan, River, and Wyatt encountered some truly unexplainable phenomena. And today, I want to break down 4 specific moments from their investigation and explore the paranormal theories that might, and I stress might, explain what they experienced. Now I'm going to approach this from both angles. I'm naturally skeptical, but I'm also open-minded, because here's the thing. Some of what happened in this house, it's really hard to explain away conventionally. So let's dive in, and trust me, by the end of this video, you might be sleeping with the lights on tonight. Alright, let's start with something that happened repeatedly throughout the investigation, and honestly, it's one of the most compelling pieces of evidence they captured. I'm talking about the phantom door slams.
now that we know as much as possible about this house, are you guys ready? No! I'm ready. And you want to know why? I'm trying not to cry right now.
Why are you gonna cry?
I'm not ready.
Shut the f up.
Hello?
What the f was that? Seriously. Everything looks the same.
If that's not a sign to be we're not ready, I don't know what is. That's scary.
I'm still looking. I don't give a f.
The issue is we have no idea what was placed where.
Why? Thank you.
What the There's nothing in here.
What was that?
Sounds like a door slamming.
Something else just happened.
This is the first time that we have been interrupted before we investigate.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, and hopefully it happens again.
I'm more not ready than I already was.
No, I'm actually gonna cry.
I'm happy that we caught that.
Put your hands, like literally.
Dude.
Hello?
This sucks, dude. This is the worst right now.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, open the door! Imagine something just happened right now.
Literally the thing, just whatever that was.
We are calling out to the entity in this house. We've been hearing you this whole time we've been here. The owner has seen your face. I don't know if you know this already, but they call you the White Face. If you are around us, we have all kinds of devices, all kinds of objects that give you the ability to show us where you are. And we also have some devices that give you the ability to use your words, whether it's one word or a whole sentence. Now, if you can make a noise at any point in time to let us know where you are, we would be very grateful.
Did you hear that already?
Yep. We're just trying to find out why you are here in this house. The first thing I'm going to do is pull out the device that you can use your words. Well, I mean, we've been hearing noises, so now that we have everything rolling, we should be able to pinpoint where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling it's coming from upstairs. That's just where it sounds like it's coming from.
It definitely does.
But the first one, when we weren't...
That's upstairs.
That's the bell.
Mm.
That's where the... Two? Is that you up there? That's where the twin dolls are.
Yeah.
If you can see me and hear me, I'm setting this device here on the stairs.
What the Wait.
Are you up there? As I was saying, this device right here on the stairs, you can use your words. Maybe you can let us know where you are. Sorry.
Where the is that, man?
I don't know.
The REM pod and the bell.
Was that upstairs?
I don't know. That was loud.
Maybe you can let us know where you are. Sorry.
Where the is that, man?
I don't know.
The REM pod and the bell.
Was that a door? Can you do it again, please?
Okay, so let's talk about what we just saw. Multiple times throughout the night, the team heard what they described as incredibly loud crashing sounds. They compared it to someone slamming a door as hard as humanly possible against a wall. Here's what makes this interesting from an investigative standpoint. Point 1. Every single door in the house was already open when these sounds occurred. The team checked multiple times. Point 2. These weren't little noises, they were loud enough that all 3 investigators jumped, loud enough that their audio equipment picked it up clearly. Point 3. They searched extensively after each occurrence. No fallen objects, no shifted furniture, nothing physical that could account for that sound. Point 4. When they used their spirit communication devices to ask about the sounds, they got responses like door, sound, and fallen. Now, let's be logical for a moment. Could this be explained conventionally? Old houses settle, absolutely, but this house wasn't making creaking sounds. This was described as a violent crashing impact. Could it be the wind? Possibly, but the team was inside, and these sounds were clearly coming from within the house. Could it be animals in the walls or attic? Maybe, but again, the volume and impact of these sounds seemed disproportionate to what a raccoon or a possum could create. Here's where it gets interesting from a paranormal perspective. In paranormal research, there's a concept called the stone tape theory. It was popularized in the 1970s, but the idea goes back further. The basic premise is this. Certain materials, especially those containing quartz or crystalline structures like stone, brick, and even certain types of wood, can act like recording mediums. Think of it like this. When a traumatic or emotionally intense event occurs, the energy from that event could potentially be recorded into the surrounding environment. And under the right conditions, changes in electromagnetic fields, the presence of sensitive individuals, certain times a day, that recording can, quote unquote, play back. Now here's why this theory is relevant to the White Face House. We know from the investigation that terrible things allegedly happened in this house. The team received multiple communications suggesting children were there. If, and this is a big if violent deaths occurred in this location, particularly involving doors being slammed during attacks or escapes, that traumatic energy could theoretically be imprinted into the building itself. What the team might have been experiencing wasn't an intelligent spirit trying to communicate, but rather an echo, a playback of past violence, the building itself remembering and replaying its trauma. And here's what makes this theory compelling in this case. The sounds were consistent but not communicative. They didn't respond to questions directly, they just happened, like a recording on a loop. But there's another layer to this. Notice how their spirit communication devices seem to acknowledge these sounds. They got door and fallen as responses. That suggests there might be intelligent spirits present who are aware of these residual sounds. Spirits who might be saying, yes, that's what happened to us. That's the sound of our deaths. So here's the question. Were they hearing the residual echo of past trauma, or were intelligent spirits somehow recreating these sounds to communicate what happened to them? Or, and this is the really unsettling possibility, were they experiencing both simultaneously? The logical part of my brain wants to find a conventional explanation, but I'll be honest with you, I can't think of one that fits all the data. The volume, the repetition, the inability to find a source, and the apparent acknowledgement from spirits through the devices. That's a combination that's hard to dismiss entirely. Alright, this next section is where the investigation takes a genuinely dark turn. We're going to talk about what the team discovered, or rather, what they were told about the basement.
That was so much activity just now. Holy shit.
We're coming upstairs!
You will find things below.
You will find things below? We'll find things below.
Oh.
What are you trying to tell us? What will we find? Wait. 2. I'm like having horrible anxiety. I like when this happens, but it legitimately scares the out of me.
Yeah. I mean...
Look,
guys,
I can't keep composed.
Something just creaked the stairs.
What will we find below? Are you in that closet? What was that noise, though?
I don't know.
We looked. Where's that noise coming from? Can you do it while we are up here, please?
He likes you.
He likes you. Whoa. Who's he? Is that the white face?
Dead bodies.
Dead bodies. Below.
You will find things below. Dead bodies.
How many are down there?
Protected.
Protected?
By the white face? Guys, remember that story I told you in the car? What Justin told me? How him and a couple other people had dreams of this place, and some of them have never even been here, and all of them involved them being chased by a serial killer.
That's the thing. We don't know if there is any documents saying that there was a serial killer that lived in this house, but he was saying that he is pretty sure.
Well, and if you think about it, the community said this place was haunted. Maybe something funky was going on, but there is way more that get away with it.
Okay, there's something in there. We are deep down in the basement.
We are as far as you can go inside the basement right now.
Well, not only that, the owner also found what I'm sitting on. It's just a stump that was carved into a chair. So, I'm sitting on it.
Why? Why is there a stump chair in the farthest corner of the basement?
Right? What happened down here?
No idea. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. What? Your favorite things down here?
Yeah, I saw that.
Spiders.
All manners of 8-legged that are scary looking.
If you guys want to know something, Wyatt really likes spiders.
So much.
You're scared.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are. Thank you.
Of the spiders?
I mean, Can you control one of the spiders to go on Wyatt?
Don't do that.
Earlier, you said on our device that something was down here. Can you explain to us what exactly that meant?
She's down there.
She. Who's she? You think it's the woman?
Maybe.
What if?
We still
Get out of there, sir.
Get out.
Sir? Him? The chair?
Who's this?
I see you.
Who sees us? Is the white-faced spirit down here?
Warning.
Warning.
Follow.
Follow their warning?
Watch me.
Did something happen down here?
Get out.
Dude, my device just said strangled.
Oh, whoa, really?
Yes.
Strangled. Did somebody die down here?
Squeeze.
Squeeze.
Whoever's talking through Ryan, can you tell us that? Somebody die down here?
Most likely.
What?
Right here.
Most like? Oh my gosh. Do you have a name?
I did.
Do you remember what it is?
That could be I did for a name or I did die down here.
Oh, true.
The smell down here is awful.
It smells like a giant fart.
Oh! 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 It just said white!
White!
Dude! It just said white!
Corner.
Corner? You. I'm in the corner. I'm in the corner, remember? I'm in the corner. I'm not in the corner anymore.
You get back over there, White.
That
Do you
noise.
think it'll work?
What?
What?
I think.
Oh, they're talking to each other.
Oh, that's freaky.
Are you able to see us? You told us that you liked when the lights were off. Is this alright? Dude, there's names engraved into that stump.
What?
Yeah. I think that says Vinny. And then it also says... Let's see, what does that say?
Noise.
Are you gonna make some noise?
Noise up. Hello.
Hello, who is this? Is this the whiteface entity?
No.
Is it one of the children?
Yeah.
Kitchen.
What the... Dude.
Noise up.
Kitchen.
That's right above us.
Up.
Up.
If you want to make noise, can you do something, please?
Murder.
There's a lot of stuff coming out right now.
Don't shoot.
Don't. Ooh, wait. She shot me.
Dude.
I thought of so much.
What?
Not safe.
If you were shot, who did it?
She waves.
Are you
What the
kidding me?
Definitely the woman.
Content warning here. We're going to be discussing alleged violence against children. If that's difficult for you, feel free to skip ahead to the next section. I'll put a timestamp in the description. Okay, so that was intense. Let's break down what happened there and why it's significant. For those unfamiliar with the Estes method, here's how it works. One investigator puts on headphones playing white noise or radio static at high volume, so they can't hear anything happening around them. Their eyes are typically closed. The theory is that spirits can manipulate the white noise to communicate words, which the blindfolded investigator relays without context. And the person doing Estes has no idea what's being asked. They're just repeating the words they're hearing through the headphones. What makes this method interesting to researchers is that it theoretically eliminates bias. The person relaying the information doesn't know what questions are being asked, so they can't subconsciously provide expected answers. Now let's look what came through during this session. You will find things below. Dead bodies. Basement. They were buried there. Strangled. I was 80. Corner. Smell. And here's the thing. The owner of the house, Justin, confirmed that the basement floor is covered in 8 to 10 inches of ash. He's dug in some areas to try and figure out how deep it goes, but there are corners he hasn't fully explored yet. The deeper sections, they're in the corners, exactly where the spirits kept saying to look. Let's be logical. Could this be coincidence? The team had only been in the house for a short time before doing this session, They hadn't been told about the depth of the ash or the unexplored corners. That information came from Justin after the Estes session, and even he seemed shocked by the correlation. Could this be the power of suggestion? That's possible, but watch his body language in this clip. He looks genuinely disturbed by what he's hearing. These aren't the responses of someone making things up or playing along. From a paranormal perspective, what we're potentially seeing here is a textbook case of intelligent haunting involving earthbound spirits. In paranormal research, there's a widely accepted theory about why spirits remain in locations. It typically involves unfinished business, something tethering them to the physical world. And one of the most common forms of unfinished business? An improper burial, or worse, remaining undiscovered after a violent death. Throughout history, there have been cases where spirits allegedly led investigators to hidden remains. The most famous might be the case of the Greenbrier ghost in 1897, where a woman's spirit supposedly testified about her own, leading to the conviction of her killer. Whether you believe that case or not, it establishes a pattern in paranormal literature. Murdered individuals whose bodies are hidden often try to ensure their remains are found. Here's why this theory fits the Whiteface house evidence. Point 1. The specificity. These weren't vague responses, corner, basement, buried. These are specific, actionable pieces of information. Point 2. The desperation. The phrase, "they buried me here," came through multiple times. That repetition suggests urgency, a need to be heard and discovered. Point 3. The emotional context. Strangled. They killed us. These aren't peaceful passings. According to paranormal theory, violent, traumatic deaths create the strongest hauntings because the energy of that trauma is so intense. Point 4. The age correlation. I was 80, came through multiple times through the night. This wasn't just random, it was consistent. This suggests either a victim who was elderly, or more disturbingly based on the evidence, one of the perpetrators whose spirit is now trapped alongside their victims. But here's what really gets me. It's the smell. The team mentioned multiple times that the basement has an awful odor. Justin confirmed this. Now, old basements smell bad for lots of reasons. Moisture, mold, decay of organic materials, that's normal. But multiple spirits mentioned smell. Why would they bring that up unless it's relevant to their message? Unless they're saying, yes, there's a reason it smells. We're here, under your feet. Look, I'm not saying there are bodies in that basement. What I'm saying is this: the consistency of the messages, the specific locations mentioned, the correlation with physical evidence. Justin already knew about that, and the emotional intensity of the responses. All of that together creates a compelling case that something is trying to communicate. Whether that's actually spirits or some other phenomenon we don't understand yet, that's the million-dollar question. But if I owned that house, I'd probably be calling in ground-penetrating radar to check those corners, just to rule it out, you know? Because what if the spirits are right? Alright, this is where we get into the truly disturbing heart of this investigation, the white-faced entities themselves. And I'm going to be honest with you, this section gave me chills when I was reviewing the footage.
I don't see anything on the ground. Right. That's the issue.
Face!
Is that who is here? Guys?
Basement.
Guys, what the My device didn't say it, but it said basement.
It said basement, I saw it.
Wait, did it say it at the same time?
It didn't even say a word, but I just asked.
Happened here.
Happened here!
Basement. I just said that.
Dude.
What could have happened?
My arms are so chilled up right now. Listen, here's the lineup. You will find things below. He likes you. I like the dark. Hello. Face, basement, happened here.
Whoa. Ooh. Whoever this is, if there are any more spirits in this house, you'll have to tell us who you are and what exactly it is that happened here. We have no idea. If you can't...
Not likely.
Something just was in that room. Did you hear that?
Hello? Either I'm tripping. Where's the bell? Like, where's
the ring? Is the spirit with the white face in there? If you are, you can come in here.
Yes, it's me.
Oh!
You're Thank you, or you may be able to show yourself to us. We have these cameras in our hands, and if you need any energy, you can use them. If that's not enough, then I'll give you my energy to use.
Definitely the woman.
Whiteface? Is the white face the woman? The entity with the white face that the new owners have seen? Is that her?
Two.
What? Two? Is the white face entity their own spirit?
You're wrong.
I'm so confused. That doesn't make any sense.
Literally.
Two.
What does two mean?
I have no idea.
Is there two spirits with a white face?
Exactly.
There's no way.
I mean, it's possible.
Where are they right now?
In there.
In where? Down here? Or upstairs? What? Could you imagine just something crawling down right next to you?
I sure could. That's why I did not want to be in the corner anymore.
I mean, you're pretty close.
I mean, I can look, but I'm not going back to the corner. Oh, okay. Yep, that's fine. They will not tell us much about these things, dude.
Are you scared to talk about them?
Can't.
Why can't you talk about them?
Not gonna lie, I wouldn't want to talk about them either.
They are not normal.
They are not normal. What the hell? What is this?
Should we leave this area?
Right now.
Right. Holy
I'm down, to be honest.
Hold on, I got a couple more questions and then let's get out of here.
What the if something frickin' shows up and digs its way out of the ground?
Why do you gotta say that?
I'm just saying.
No mouth.
Oh!
You said that. You literally said that.
I said no facial features, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, whoa. Ugh. Screaming. Man screaming.
I have a few more questions, please, and then we'll listen to your warning.
Wrongfully accused.
Did multiple children die here?
Elderly people.
Oh!
They were?
Earlier I was 80, right?
Yes, they were elderly people.
Taken over.
Outlive? Hold on, dude. I'm starting to kind of put something together here.
Took them.
Oh.
Take over, took them.
Imagine, there's an elderly couple here. Something took over them.
Listen to him.
What the
He's right.
Finish what you're saying. Holy
These white-faced figures or something.
Kind of manipulated them and caused them to do something bad.
Maybe. Or maybe now somehow they are the white-faced figures.
Oh, like their spirits were kind of taken?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I will go into whatever room you're in by myself and take your
ancient curse.
Oh my god. From something here?
What if we're dealing with some, like, ancient entities right now? Something that's, like, actually
It's here.
Oh!
Yeah.
No way!
Dude, it definitely could be.
So, it just said 80 again.
80. It's here, 80. I was 80.
Okay, so let's talk about what we just witnessed, because this is where the investigation goes from potentially paranormal to genuinely terrifying. Throughout the night, the team made a discovery. There aren't just random spirits in the house. There's a hierarchy. There are child spirits, there's possibly the spirit of an old elderly woman, and then there are these things, the white-faced entities. Let's compile what we learned about them. There are 2 of them. They have white faces with no features. That means no eyes, no mouth, no expression. They cannot or will not speak. Child spirits are afraid of them. They're described as not normal. They're connected to an ancient curse. They somehow took over or possessed an elderly couple. They're referred to as monsters. Now, before we go down the paranormal rabbit hole, let's think logically about what could create these reports. Pareidolia, our tendency to see faces in random patterns, is a real phenomena. In low light conditions, shadows can absolutely create the illusion of faces. That's well documented. But here's the problem. Multiple witnesses have reported seeing these white-faced entities, including the owner Justin and his family. These aren't investigators in the middle of the night hyped up on adrenaline. These are people who live there, seeing these things during normal daily activities. Sleep paralysis could explain some encounters, especially ones happening at night. During sleep paralysis, People often report seeing shadow figures or distorted faces. But again, these sightings are happening when people are awake and active. So if conventional explanations fall short, what are the paranormal theories that might apply here? This is going to sound extreme, but hear me out. In demonology and advanced paranormal research, there's a classification system for entities. You have human spirits, which are ghosts of people who had died, but then you have non-human entities, things that were never human to begin with. These are called by different names depending on the culture: demons, shadow beings, jinn, parasitic entities. What they have in common is this: they're intelligent, they're often malevolent, and they can attach to people or places. Now here's where it gets relevant to the Whiteface house. The team received messages suggesting an elderly couple who lived in the house were somehow taken over or possessed. The spirits said things like inside them, possessed, took them, and documented cases of severe possession. And I'm talking about cases that have been investigated by religious authorities and paranormal researchers. There's often a physical change in the possessed individual. Their appearance becomes distorted, their eyes change, their facial expressions become wrong somehow, uncanny. What if, and I am speculating here, what if these entities didn't just possess the elderly couple temporarily? What if the possession was so complete, so total, that it fundamentally changed them? Their faces became blank, featureless, white, because their humanity had been completely consumed. And when these people died, perhaps the entities couldn't or wouldn't leave. They're now trapped in the location, still wearing these twisted, featureless forms, neither fully spirit nor fully corporeal, something in between. But there's another layer to this. Remember those Asian artifacts the team mentioned? And more importantly, remember the twin dolls. Justin, the owner, said something crucial. He found these twin dolls in the house, and the moment he picked them up, the entire house started shaking so violently he thought the floor was collapsing. In paranormal research, there's extensive documentation of cursed objects, items that carry attachments, spirits or entities bound to them. The most famous examples are the Annabelle doll and the Dybbuk box. Whether you believe those cases or not, they represent a pattern. Objects can allegedly serve as vessels or anchors for non-human entities. Here's a theory that fits the evidence. What if one of those Asian artifacts or the dolls themselves carried an attachment? What if an elderly couple who lived in that house, perhaps the piano teacher mentioned in the historical records, obtained or inherited an object they didn't understand? These entities bound to the object were released or activated. They then possessed the couple, using their bodies to commit terrible acts. The blank white faces represent the complete erasure of their human identities. When the couple died, the entities remained, still bound to the house. And here's where it gets even stranger. Notice the pattern of twos. Two white-faced entities. Two twin dolls found in the house. Twin investigators, Ryan and River. The house address, 511. The team's investigation date, May 11th, 511. In occult studies and paranormal research, this kind of synchronicity isn't coincidence. It's often seen as symbolic or ritualistic. Some entities, particularly ancient ones, are believed to operate through patterns and symbols. The repetition of twins and two throughout this investigation suggests something intentional. What if these entities are drawn to twins? What if they seek out that specific dynamic because of some property of twin energy or connection? Multiple times throughout the investigation, the spirit said, "He likes you," directed specifically at Ryan and River, the twins. That's not random, that's targeted. One more thing I want to address: the repeated message that these entities don't talk and have no mouth. In possession literature across multiple cultures, Christian, Islamic, Hindu, there are accounts of entities that cannot or will not communicate through normal speech. When a possession is complete, when the entity has fully consumed the host's identity, the normal human ability to form language can be lost. They exist in a liminal space, not fully one thing or another, and in that space, human communication breaks down. Look, I know how this sounds: demonic possession, cursed objects, ancient entities. It sounds like a horror movie. Maybe it is just a horror movie. Maybe there's a logical explanation we're missing. But when you look at the evidence as a whole, multiple witnesses seeing the same thing, child spirits warning about these entities, the physical reactions to the dolls, the synchronicities, the consistent description of featureless white faces. It becomes harder to dismiss entirely. Something is in that house. Whether it's the spirits of the possessed individuals, non-human entities, or something else entirely, the consistency of the accounts suggests this isn't just imagination or suggestion. It's something real. And it's something that scared experienced paranormal investigators. Alright, we're going to talk about the most dangerous moment of the investigation now. And this is important because it crosses a line. It's one thing to hear sounds or get readings on devices. It's another thing entirely when something physically touches you.
Corner. I think, dude, it's down there. I think they're talking about that.
Woman.
Okay.
Standing. Okay, if you're over there, can you make a noise? If you need energy, you can use the energy out of our cameras.
So the woman is still here. She's not either of the entities with a white face?
Wrong.
Oh.
Count.
2.
Count 2. What the f? Can anybody tell us if those white face entities are evil? Do they mean harm?
Don't trust them. What the f? Dude, what the f? I just heard the weirdest, hissing thing right next to me, and then it felt like something was, grabbing my leg.
I'm not close enough. I can't reach you.
That was weird. I'm not even kidding. It felt like this. Oh, that's your
Uh-huh.
It felt like this.
Ew.
Hide.
Should we probably get out of here soon?
Okay, so let's break down what happened there. Because this is a critical moment from both an investigative and a safety perspective. River, while conducting the SS method in the basement, blindfolded, headphones on, completely isolated from environmental input, suddenly reported feeling something grabbed his leg. Not brush against it, not a vague sensation, a grab. And look at his reaction, that's genuine shock. You can't fake that kind of visceral response. In paranormal research, there's a scale of activity intensity. At the low end, you have environmental changes, temperature fluctuations, electromagnetic field variations. In the middle, you have the audio and visual phenomena, voices, shadows, objects moving. But at the high end, you have physical contact. Physical contact is significant because it requires an enormous amount of energy. Most spirits, according to paranormal theory, struggle to affect the physical world at all. Moving a small object is difficult. Actually touching a living person with enough force that they can feel it, that requires substantial power. It often indicates intent. Something wanted to touch River. Something targeted him specifically. Let's think logically. Could River have experienced a muscle spasm or nerve twitch? Absolutely possible. Sitting in an awkward position in the basement, legs might cramp or twitch. And in a heightened state of awareness, that could feel like external contact. Could it have been an insect or a small animal? The basement is old and probably has various creatures living in it. A mouse running across his leg could feel like a grab in the dark. Could it have been psychological? The power of suggestion making him feel something wasn't there. When you're in a dark basement conducting a paranormal investigation, talking about violent deaths, your mind can absolutely play tricks on you. But here's what makes me pause on all of those explanations, the timing and the confirmation. Watch the clip again. River reports the sensation, and almost immediately after, the spirit communication devices start providing context. White comes through. Then, you were in danger. If this was just a muscle spasm or psychological suggestion, why would the devices seem to acknowledge and explain it? That's a hell of a coincidence. From a paranormal perspective, what we might be seeing here is what researchers call targeted attachment or entity fixation. This occurs when a spirit or entity becomes focused on a specific individual. There are usually reasons for this. Energy sensitivity. Some people are naturally more sensitive to paranormal phenomena. They act like beacons to spirits. If River is naturally sensitive, entities would be drawn to him. Energy vampirism. Certain entities, particularly parasitic or malevolent ones, are believed to feed on human life force or emotional energy. Fear, in particular, is a powerful energy source. By making physical contact, an entity can create fear and potentially begin feeding on that person's energy. Attachment attempts. This is the concerning one. In some cases, entities make physical contact as the first step towards attachment or even possession. It's like establishing a connection, a link between the entity and the person. Twin energy. Here's where it gets specific to this case. Remember, throughout the investigation, the entities kept referencing the twins. "He likes you" was directed at Ryan and River specifically. In occult and paranormal theory, twins are believed to share a unique energetic connection, a bond that's more powerful than typical family connections. Some entities, particularly ancient or powerful ones, are specifically drawn to this twin energy. It's either more potent for feeding or, more disturbingly, two entities might seek two hosts. If the white-faced entities were once an elderly couple who were possessed, and if those entities are now looking for new hosts, twin would be the ideal candidates. Two bodies, similar energetic signatures, perfect for two entities to inhabit. What if that grab wasn't just a touch? What if it was a test? An entity checking to see if River was vulnerable, if attachment was possible. Now let's talk about all the warnings they received throughout the night, because this is where child spirits come back into the picture. Stay away, careful, must leave, not safe, you were in danger, don't trust them. These warnings come from different spirits, seemingly the child spirits who, based on the investigations, are victims of whatever happened in that house. Think about that for a moment. These children, who presumably suffered terrible fates at the hands of the white-faced entities or whoever they possessed, were trying to protect the investigators. They were actively warning them, "Don't end up like us, get out while you can." And the fact that the warning "you were in danger" came after the physical contact, that suggests the children witnessed an attempt. They saw the entity try something with River, and they were confirming, yes, that was real, yes, that was dangerous, yes, you need to understand what almost happened. Alright, let's bring this all together and talk about what we've analyzed here today. We've looked at 4 key moments from Twin Paranormal's investigation of the white-faced house. The phantom door slams, the basement revelations, the white-faced entities, and the physical attack on River. So what's my final take on all of this? Here's what I'll say. I went into this analysis trying to remain skeptical but open-minded, and having reviewed all the footage, looked at the patterns, examined the evidence, I genuinely don't have a complete conventional explanation that fits everything. Could some of these things be coincidence? Sure. Could some be environmental factors? Absolutely. Could some be the power of suggestion or psychological factors? Definitely possible. But all of it being coincidence or misinterpretation, that requires a lot of coincidences happening in exactly the right sequence. Alright everyone, that's going to wrap up this analysis. I want to know what you think. Do you believe what happened to the Twin Paranormal team was genuinely paranormal? Do you think there's a conventional explanation that I missed? And most importantly, would you spend a night in the white-faced house? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to check out Twin Paranormal's original investigation. Link is in the description. Subscribe to their channel, they do incredible work. And if you want to see more paranormal analysis videos like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. I've got more investigations to break down, and trust me, some of them are even more intense than this one. Thanks for watching everyone, stay curious, stay skeptical, and maybe keep the lights on tonight. I'll see you in the next one. Project Fear is one of the most intense paranormal YouTube channels out there, making eye-watering, horrific videos of paranormal experiences and modern-day ghost hunting. Dakota, Chelsea, Alex, and Tanner have gone to great lengths to deliver some of the most spine-tingling, unique videos that can be found on YouTube. Today we're going to be looking at some of the most insane footage and craziest evidence. This is part 3 of my Documentaries series where I cover YouTube ghost hunters. If you haven't seen the first 2 episodes covering Project Fear, they'll be linked in the description. Let's begin. Margam Castle, an old piece of history located in Wales, is subject to many ghost stories and haunting experiences, and Project Fear wanted to get in on that action. As the team begins to get ready to investigate the castle, They make their way to the first interesting looking location. As they stand in silence, something decides to break the calm and begin building the tension and overall tone of the evening.
All right, we just finished reading the packet. We are now going to explore this castle.
We're gonna explore this castle.
Just walk around. Oh, this is the stairs.
That's creepy. Let me see this. Look at this. Dude.
Yo. Right now, we don't have access to the staircase. It's blocked off, but before coming here, we did talk to the management, and they said that at some point tonight, they're gonna have someone show up and get rid of these fences, and we will have access to the stairs.
Dude, can you imagine, like, this is your entrance into your bedroom? Like, you get to walk up this staircase?
Is someone walking up there?
Weird. That was definitely way far up.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I almost feel like we should leave a camera just shooting up this
That's
staircase as we continue on. Maybe by leaving a camera on here, we'll catch something. I'm gonna grab one really.
Chelsea, did you just say something?
No, but I heard that.
Did you hear that female?
Yes.
That was like a really faint, like, whimper.
Maybe by leaving a camera on here, we'll catch something. I'm gonna grab one really. We'll catch something. I'm gonna grab one really.
Okay, let's grab that camera.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
A loud bang is heard coming from the room, presumably at the top of the large staircase. As they stand in awe and wonder, Dakota begins explaining his idea of leaving a camera running to capture evidence, and something interrupts him. A ghostly voice is heard subtly behind Dakota's voice as he's talking. He didn't really seem to notice it, but Chelsea and Alex sure did. After setting up the camera, they begin their investigation by making their way to one of the staircases in the castle. As they're approaching the steps, something stops them dead in their tracks.
Okay, so we're gonna keep this camera right here on the staircase as we continue to explore.
Where do you want to go?
I feel like we have to try to find our way up after hearing these noises.
Yeah.
All right, we're coming upstairs.
What was that?
What was
What?
that?
A girl talking. Shh.
Hello? Can you make that noise one more time?
All right, we're coming upstairs.
What was that?
What was
What? A
that?
girl talking. Shh.
All right, we're coming upstairs.
What was that?
What was
What? A
that?
girl talking. Shh.
They hear another woman's voice coming from the floor above them. A faint little moan is heard, and Chelsea asks a question straight into the void and darkness of the floors above them. She asks if anybody is there. They were met with the answer of silence. The team makes their way into the master bedroom of the massive castle. As they begin looking around and listening for any slight sound, a rock is thrown outside of the room and down the corridor from where they were investigating. Tensions build as they begin to look for the source of the rock thrown. Something absolutely chilling happens to Dakota that he and the team to this day cannot explain.
This is a huge room.
Yeah, this is big. So this is the master bedroom. This is where Christopher Talbot passed away. It's also said that this is where Emily spent a lot of her time.
Oh, he literally got to walk up the staircase to his room.
Like a baller. Yo!
What the?
That was a rock.
What?
That was a rock.
Hello?
Someone over there? You just try to throw a rock at us?
What happened? What?
Did you just throw a rock at me?
No.
Shut the fuck up.
Did you just throw a
No, shut the fuck up, dude.
That wasn't you?
No.
What the dude? That hit me right in the hand.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, wait, what the
Yo.
I'm bleeding. That hit me in the hand.
It had to have come from that direction.
There it is.
It is this, yeah.
It's literally a piece of this.
I mean, the ceiling is just one slab of concrete.
It had to have come from that direction because if it ended up over here, it would have had to have come from that way.
And this is a piece of the building.
That's a big rock.
Yeah, dude, it freaking hurt.
You just try to throw a rock at us?
What happened? What?
They say you won't leave this place without having some sort of a rock experience, and that happened already.
Dude, I swear something is just on this staircase right now.
Somehow, a rock was thrown and thrown hard enough at Dakota's hand where it had torn the skin back and actually caused him to start bleeding. Upon looking around, they were able to identify the rock that had been thrown. To watch this entire investigation and all the videos that will be discussed, they will be linked in the description. Give them a view and your support, they deserve it. Help them hit that 1 million subscriber milestone. They are on their way. Now, castles are scary and certainly hold a lot of bloody history, but sometimes modern establishments can hold horrific stories too. We now will be heading to a home with such a horrifying past that it is deemed to be one of the most haunted locations in the United States. I'm speaking, of course, of the Sallie House. The Sallie House is known the world over for being one of the most haunted and potentially demonic locations there is. There have been so many investigations and evidence that has poured out of this location that it certainly has earned the title of one of the most haunted locations in the United States. We now head with Project Fear as they go to investigate the house. Although this time there's a twist. It won't be the entire team investigating, it will be just Chelsea, all by herself in a home where people in numbers are still afraid. Chelsea, if you're seeing this, you're one tough cookie for going it alone at the Sallie House. Let's take a look at what she had captured.
Another creepy room. What is that? I can't see that with my naked eye. Yo, that looks like a foot. I'm just gonna show you. Like, you cannot see that with your naked eye. That's freaking creepy. What the heck? I've never seen that before. I don't know what that is. It's not really giving me warm fuzzy vibes. Definitely freaking me out a little bit. Oh my gosh, seriously? Another circle of freaking animals.
Chelsea begins her investigation and starts sweeping the house, listening and paying careful attention to detail. Eventually, she makes her way upstairs and finds something rather alarming on the ground. Her camera is picking up a rather nasty looking stain on the floor by one of the beds. She claims she sees a foot, and I can kind of see where she's coming from. She decides to press forward, and the house is about to come alive. But first, we're gonna hear from Alex.
Okay, guys. So Chelsea has been inside for over an hour now. So far, so good. Hopefully, she's getting scared. But I haven't heard anything, so I don't really know. Haven't heard her scream. She hasn't walkied me yet. I do have my walkie on just in case she needs anything or is freaking out. I'm right here. But yeah, just been sitting out here waiting for her to come out, take a break for a minute if she needs it. But yeah, it's going good. I'm good. If you guys were wondering, I'm fine, okay? I am totally fine in here. Just sitting back, relaxing. It's gonna be a long night though. And yeah, I just hope everything inside is going okay.
I did hear like a faint little girl noise. And it didn't sound like it came from this room. It sounded like it came from farther away. Sally, if you are in the house, you can come into this room with all of your toys. Like, part of me understands why there would be a young spirit of Sally here, because if the claims are true that Sally's last breaths were in this home after a botched surgery, that would make sense, you know. But I can't forget about the other things that have been talked about in regards to the Sally house, like the pentagram and the basement. Regardless of who I communicate with tonight, I do have to be careful. Last time we were here, we didn't know if we were talking to Sally. Can you make a noise, move a toy, if you are not Sally? I feel like I'm hearing like a pitter patter, like a soft walking downstairs.
Chelsea spends time in one of the rooms and hears a variety of horrifying noises. First, she hears what sounds like a little girl's voice coming from somewhere within the house, and shortly thereafter, she hears footsteps coming from somewhere close by. Two problems with this. One, she's all alone in this house, and two, if she's alone, what was making these noises? Something was really going to make itself known.
All right, I think it's time to take out some equipment. I'm gonna take out the PS device since we've been talking about it. I'm just gonna ask some questions. I've heard some noises that have really pulled me back down to this part of the house. And I think the best way for me to figure out who I'm communicating with is to take out a piece of equipment. And I got my walkie on me too. I'm actually gonna do a little walkie check just to make sure that Alex is alive out there, because I need to know my security guard is alive.
Alex, walkie check.
As of right now, yo.
Good check.
Why did my light just go on outside of the house?
I have no idea, because
It's not a motion sensor because no one's been walking by it.
as I was walking you,
That light just turned on by itself. The porch light just turned on.
dude, that's super weird. Honestly, I didn't even notice it.
But no one has walked by. Like, no one's been on the streets walking by, so it's not a motion sensor, I know that.
Does that have to be physically
Turned on? Because if it does, I'm inside and I've been sitting here the whole time.
I have no idea, but
No one's walked past this house in like an hour.
How did that turn on? Like, even if it's motion censored, like, it should be off by now. Okay, I'm gonna go just look really quick before I dive into this PS device, just to see if there's like a sensor or what. Okay, so that's this light. I don't know what, that one's not doing anything. That one's inside. No freaking way. There's a switch to the light outside. Inside the house. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's like actually terrifying. That is almost like what I didn't want to find. Yeah, that's a big heck no. Heck no. Whew, freaking out. Can't even deal with this. That's where the pentagram was. All right, so I am sitting in the basement. Very uncomfortable. If there is somebody down here or something down here, can you tell me? Open. Open? Open what? Open what? I just got super uncomfortable from like standing on the pentagram that I moved my legs and it just said open. Like, I don't know what that's referring to. Why are you here in the basement?
Black.
Black? I mean, the only thing that's even remotely close to, like, black is this blacked out pentagram. Why was this pentagram made?
Me.
Me. M-E. Me. Okay, I am freaked out right now. Basically, whatever's here is saying that they were brought here from something black, and I'm assuming it's this pentagram. And then what did this pentagram bring? Me. M-E. Me. All right, well, I really don't feel comfortable talking anymore. All right, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm super uncomfortable. I've gotten no more responses. I don't really want to really get more responses when I'm alone down here. Whatever's down here is like not good at all. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go talk to Alex and just give him kind of a recap. Not feeling good about the basement at all. Think I definitely need a little break from it. All right, I'm getting out of here before it's too late, before I can't. Wait, what the shit? Dude, this door is closed. I'm not kidding you, this door was open. That, dude, the music box! Okay, that door was open. I left it open, I'm so sure of it. The music box is going off. Okay, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. Hell no. I need to go. Dude.
What?
Dude,
what, are you okay?
I'm so freaking scared. My battery's about to die. But like things got so weird in there. So I'm in the basement, not a lot was happening, and I asked like, there's somebody here, why are you here? And it said black, and like there was a big black smudge on the ground where the freaking pentagram used to be. And I said, okay, what was this pentagram used for? And it said me. And then I'm down there and I just like got this gut feeling like beyond reasonable doubt that I needed to get out.
Yeah.
Walking up the stairs, freaking music box is going off upstairs.
No way.
I'm not kidding, and I need you to come back in with me because
I don't want to go in there. I prepared myself to sit in the car. I literally just said.
Did you actually?
Yes.
I'm so sorry, dude. My mouth's like so dry. I'm so scared, dude.
Oh my god.
No, this house is going crazy. I'm not kidding. The music box, you might even be able to. You can see it! You can see it!
You can see it? Holy shit!
Dude, you can see it. You can see the flickering of the light. You can see it going off!
Yo, dude, hold on, let me get this. Yo, look at this. You can actually see it.
You can see the freaking music box going off in the freaking room. You can see it, I promise, I told you!
Like, what is actually standing in front of it right now? Is it pointed, like,
it's pointed at the open door! Open door! It's an open door!
Okay, that's freaky.
Chelsea eventually decides to go to the living room and talk a bit to the viewer and also to radio her partner who is waiting outside of the house. As this happens, the port light pops on. Confused by this, she goes to investigate, only to find out that you have to manually move the light switch and that it's not automated or on a motion sensor light. After calming down a bit, she makes her way to the basement and she runs a few tests down there. Her paranoia builds as the responses become fewer and fewer. Having enough, she decides to grab her things and head back upstairs, only to find out that something had closed the door on her, potentially wanting her to be trapped in the basement. As she's realizing this, the music box begins playing loudly upstairs. Properly freaked out, she leaves the house to go speak with Alex, and they both realize that they can actually see the music box still hitting inside of the room when there is nobody left in the house. So what caused this to happen? Let me know your theories below. The Sally house will forever live in infamy, but there is a place that is spoken in hushed tones for how haunted the place is, and of course, Project Fear had to investigate it. Let's go with them now to the Penhurst Asylum. Penhurst Asylum is one of the hotspots for paranormal activity and ghost hunting. The place is so active, the story goes, if you make your way there, you will experience something. If that's true, I couldn't tell you because I had never been there myself, but I have watched many investigations performed inside of the walls, and the place is terrifying and has a horrifying past. In this clip, Project Fear brought along their friends and fellow YouTubers Colin and Connor from the Paranormal Files. And let me tell you, some of the evidence I'm about to show you is horrific.
Well then, can you help me understand?
You've got to go.
You don't want me down here? Is it not safe for me? Hello? Was that you that made a noise over there?
That was him.
Who is he? Does he have a name? I just heard a woman screaming. Who just screamed? Hello? Colin? Tanner?
Are you mad that I don't like what you did to people? That we're showcasing what you did? I just blink? It is trying its hardest to freak me out and get me out.
I don't know how he could sleep. He is out hard right now. Like, I don't know how anyone could sleep in a place like this, so holy crap, dude. Dude, there's just something about this, like, I do not like being alone in here. Where are you right now? Can you give me a sign that you're in here? Dude, I just heard a scream.
Connor sits against a support beam deep within the walls of Penhurst Asylum and begins to hear random noises around him, and eventually hears what sounds like a woman screaming from somewhere in the building. Later, Tanner is sitting all by himself in a different wing of the asylum and experiences horrifying paranormal activity, such as his flashlight turning on in a response to one of his questions, and he also hears a bang or a crash coming from behind him. Then we meet up with Alex, who is also on his own, when he hears a really loud scream coming from somewhere pretty close by to where he's located, startling him and putting him on edge. In my opinion, Project Fear is making some of the most entertaining ghost hunting content on YouTube. I'm glad that they went this route after the cancellation of their TV show. They now have complete creative freedom when it comes to making the show they always wanted to make. Go over to their channel and subscribe. They more than deserve it. Thanks for watching another episode of the Horror Expo, and I appreciate your time. If you enjoy videos like this, please consider giving it a like and subscribing, because every little bit helps. Also, drop a comment. I love reading all your opinions and theories, and I do read every comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.